Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
The Gospel according to Matthew. As you go, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven has come near. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, cast out demons. You received without payment, give without payment. Take no gold or silver or copper in your belts, no bag for the journey, or 2 tunics, or sandals, or a staff, for laborers deserve their food. Whatever town or village you enter, find out who in it is worthy, and stay there until you leave. As you enter the house, greet it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. The Gospel of the Lord.
So in today's Gospel reading, we hear about Jesus sending out the apostles, and he says, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven has come near. In some translations, it says, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And when he says that, he's not referring to the distant future, but he's actually referring to the now, the present, how God is present through him. And you know that the time is now. There's some sense of urgency. The time is now because Jesus is in the now. So he doesn't stop at proclaim the good news. You can see that if you actually keep going with the reading, he says, cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, cast out demons. And you know, it's not just about proclaiming, but it's also about acting. The proclamation of the good news must always be accompanied by action. Jesus told them, you have received without payment, give without payment. And so when they had their encounter with Jesus, they weren't required to pay. And therefore, they shouldn't be asking or expecting payment from others. It's about being selfless, to evaluate the reasons why you do things. You're not doing it for payment, but you're doing it for the glory of God. You're doing it so that you can share this beautiful news that the kingdom of heaven has come near. And he told them to pack lightly, or basically just not to take anything, not to take a bag or any food for the journey. And basically what he's saying is that they will be looked after. When they do God's work, they will be looked after, and all their needs will be provided to them by the one who sent them. I wonder what they felt. You know, some of them might have been quite amazed or surprised or anxious. I know I would have been anxious because I like preparing for things. And I think in this one, it's not about not preparing, but it's about trusting that God will be there in the unknown, that things will be provided to us in the unknown. And I know that I'm quite guilty in saying that I'll do things when I'm ready. I'm just preparing, I'll do it when I'm ready. And this one's not necessarily about not preparing, but it's about trusting that in the unknown, God is present, and that our needs will be supplied by God. When the disciples encountered Jesus, undoubtedly they received an abundance of gifts and graces. And today we still receive a lot of gifts and graces from Jesus through the people that surround us, through our circumstances. And these gifts are not for us to hold on to. After all, through our baptismal call, we're called to proclaim the good news. And when we proclaim the good news, we must accompany that by action. And it could be with just as little as some of the things that we might feel as insignificant to us. It could be lending a hand to people. It could be smiling at the people that we encounter. Or even visiting someone that's lonely, checking up on family. And so my challenge is for us to be alert today. Be alert and be present, and look for those opportunities where we can be generous. Look for those opportunities where we can share our smile, our laughter, our attention, or even our ears just to listen. And now I invite you to take a moment to ask yourself, how can I help someone who is struggling? What can I do to share joy, hope, and comfort with the individuals that I encountered today?